here till 4:30.
So just come up in the afternoon.
No, but we need to, huh?
Just come up in the afternoon.
We're not recording yet.
That's good. Do we have to record this
Make
much?
sure I had this thing shut off.
1,300.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are recording.
1,300 Delaware. Right? 14. I can't read it.
Ready if you
I
are.
thought it says 13 right there. Am I looking at the wrong thing?
No, you're right. I'm sorry. I must have been looking at it wrong earlier.
You all right? It's 6:30. We're going to call Legislation Codes Committee to order. Clerk, could you please take roll?
Mr. Neff.
Here.
Mr. T. Smith.
Here.
Mr. Schauber informed me he would be unable to attend this evening.
Okay. Our first item, we have a summary of proceedings from July 7th and July 21st. As the committee had opportunity to look these over.
I have. I move that we accept as submitted.
I will second that. Clerk, could you please take roll?
Mr. Neff.
Yes.
Mr. T. Smith.
Yes.
New business item number 1, we have a liquor transfer request from Me Jalapeno Grocery at 1300 Delaware Avenue. And this is a new permit, a D5 permit.
Yes, I believe it is for off-site sales.
Okay, so we have a new D5 permit for 1300 Delaware Avenue. Do we have any input from police or fire?
I know of no reason to object.
No. Anyone else?
You said-
Councilor Smith.
Clerk, you said off-sites. What did you say? Could you repeat that?
They can sell the, I believe it's beer, and it has to be taken home to be consumed rather than,
Okay.
so no, we've had.
It's like a carry-out then?
Yes.
Okay.
This, I believe, is a grocery store.
Oh, yeah. Grocery store.
Me Jalapeno Grocery LLC.
Well, I move we take no action.
I will second that. Clerk, could you please take roll?
Mr. Neff.
Yes.
Mr. T. Smith.
Yes.
Matters not on the agenda tonight. Seeing none, we're adjourned, 6:32. That's how you run a meeting right there. Just let me know when you're done, Matt.
Just so you know, D5s are restaurants and bars.
Dine in.
El Camps is, they're opening that, the old Moose, the old.
So it is a dining.
Is it El Camps or Me House?
Yeah. Didn't serve X.
Oh, okay.
All right, Traffic Commission.
Traffic Commission is up.
Hard to beat.
Good luck.
I got one. Somebody else might be more though.
Look at the crew here.
Oh, okay. So I don't need this.
That is the Traffic Commission. There's a traffic study report.
You ready?
Yeah.
6:33, call the traffic commission to order. Clerk, will you take roll?
Mr. Barr.
Present.
Mr. T. Smith.
Here.
Mr. R. Smith.
Here.
Mr. Cowell.
Here.
Mr. Shetler.
Here.
Chief McDonald.
Here.
Mr. Russell.
Here.
Okay, we have a summary of proceedings as the commission had an opportunity to review. Entertain any motions.
I'll make a motion, we accept.
Second.
Mr. Cowell.
Was that you, Thaddeus?
And Mr. R. Smith.
Yes.
Take roll.
Mr. Barr.
Yes.
Mr. T. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. R. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Cowell.
Yes.
Mr. Shetler.
Yes.
Chief McDonald.
Yes.
Mr. Russell.
Yes.
Okay, old business, Superior Street and Duluth Avenue speeding. I believe we have a report.
Yes, I kind of summarized the lengthy report under number 3 there were over 22,000 entries in the time that the monitor was up on Duluth. And you can see the outlier of the highest speed was 59 miles an hour and the lowest of 8 with an average of 27.9 over those 22,000 entries. The start date was up there for 14 days, as you can see, so gave us a pretty good indication of what's going on. And I will say that it was taken down, the batteries have been charged, and since I printed this out, it has been installed on Superior Street. It actually went up today on Superior Street, so.
So we'll be getting results from that in a
Yeah,
couple weeks.
weeks, we should have everything back on that.
And the speed signs went up, I think, the next day after our last meeting.
Yes.
Have we noticed any difference down there with those signs being up? Not really.
And then an update on the Marion Augusta / Bennett Street concerns. I copied an email from Commissioner Davidson on the second page there, updating us on the county side of that. Basically, they would take a traffic study to lower the speed limit on Marion Augusta, and they don't have any more funds in their budget for this year to do a traffic study. And then, also on this sheet was, there's been a request to make Lee and Dennison a 4-way stop.
Well, I believe that's new business, right?
Oh, sorry, did I skip ahead? Yeah, I sure did.
Sorry, Mr. Cal.
And then then we'll get to matters not on the agenda for new business, sorry.
I don't believe we need to take any action, do we? We just wanted to review the results there
Yes, sir.
and kind of monitor Superior and Duluth. Okay. New business, potential stop sign at Lee Street and Dennison. Mr. Cal?
We were just approached about this. The Traffic Commission was asked to take a look at this, and I have no objections. If the rest of the commission has no objections to make that a 4-way stop.
I believe we have a representative from the Martin Luther King Neighborhood Association. Mr. Peterson, would you like to address the commission?
Thank you so very much. Again, I'm Jerry Peterson, and I'm with the MLK Community Group, and we have been doing some evaluation ourselves, and the traffic is atrocious going there because they're running for the train. They're trying to beat the train. However, I'm concerned about the kids because they're now using it, because we have that brand new street, thanks man, they use it as a runway now. And so kids are out there in it and people are coming through and they're not, I know the speed limit should be about 25, but they're doing 50, 35. 40. So, trying to get around the train. So, but you got these kids running in the street. It's going to be an accident waiting to happen. I understand that you said Dennison and Lee, but I'm also looking at Evans and Lee because that's where Logan's Christian Ministry built a wellness center. And we have a lot of participants utilizing that center. And a lot of kids in the neighborhood comes to that center. And so that will be a good stopping place as well. Because, again, kids are coming out, people are coming out, and there's only a 3-way stop I'm looking at. Because, so I think it'd be beneficial to do that. I think it help us secure the fact that our kids are safe. That's our main goal. Our kids are safe. And that doesn't become a drag strip because it's a new street.
Yeah. Mr. Peterson, I know your Martin Luther King Association meets on Monday nights, and you're here as a representative of them. Do you feel it's everybody there that's part of that association that's in agreement with what you're presenting to us?
I do believe so, because actually when we discussed it in several meetings, and we all came to the same conclusion, it has brought our thoughts into reality. When you guys started bringing it to the committee to see if we can get signs put up because it's important. And knowing the group that I serve with, I think we all be in agreement with it. We might get some residents who don't like the fact that they have to stop on that street. But again, we're looking at what's best for the community, what's best for our kids.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Peterson, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
If you could only get one set of stop signs instead of two, would you prefer Dennison or Evans?
I would prefer Evans,
Okay.
but I would wish that we could get two, because that would actually break the traffic down much more, because they have to stop more than just at one time. I think it's important that we try to man the traffic, and if we can man the traffic, just like, much like what we have on Church Street. You know, that traffic has come to a slow pace because of the stop signs that they placed there. I think it would be the same consideration on Lee Street if we were to put up multiple signs there as well.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
The only issue I see with that at Evans, and I understand that's right there at the church, is that's only a block off of Fairground. You know, so that'd be the only, I understand the concern and the wishes for that, but I definitely would support the one at Dennison to begin with, and then maybe revisit that.
What about putting a stop sign at one end and speed bumps at the other?
So if I may, Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
so there's one missing link before we would recommend the placement of stop signs under the Ohio Department of Traffic Manual, whatever the acronym is. The city engineer should review, I would suggest, both these intersections to see if there are warrants, because the manual refers to them as warranting a stop sign.
Yep.
So it would be important before we recommend placements of stop signs that we hear from the city engineer. I would suggest that we allow him at least 30 days to investigate both intersections and prepare a report indicating whether or not the Ohio Uniform Traffic Manual has warrants met in regards to either one of these intersections.
Do we have to take any action to?
I'll make that motion,
Okay.
all that in a motion, and if there's a second, a majority vote, then I'm sure the
Mr.
city
McDonald,
engineer will
second.
respond.
Yep.
Yes, we
If
can
you
do
want
that.
to take a roll.
If you choose.
I have a motion from Mr. Russell and a second from Chief McDonald.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. T. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. R. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Cowell?
Yes.
Mr. Shetler?
Yes.
Chief McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Russell?
Yes.
Yes.
Uh,
Mr. Smith.
If I may, Mr. Engineer, what are some of the requirements to actually get a stop sign placed if you don't?
I'd have to do some research on that exactly. I mean,
Okay.
some of it is what the public wishes, but it's also the volume of traffic. You know, we could do a traffic count. I don't know if it's necessary there, but we'll see what all we need to do there
Okay.
if it would warrant a four-way stop or not there, in either one.
Thank you for the info.
Yep.
Any other conversation on that new business? Okay, moving on to matters not on the agenda.
On the very back page of your handout, there's a outline for what the chief of police has come up with for a comprehensive plan to address several of the complaints that we receive citywide. I'll let Chief McDonald explain that.
Yeah, so last week, we had a meeting between the city administration and the police department about the continual speed complaints that both parties get and council gets. And so we've come up with a plan where each shift is now mandated to assign officers to traffic enforcement over the course of a week. We reached out to the state of Ohio to see if we could get approval to allow for more flexibility in the use of our traffic grant funding, and they granted us that request. On our webpage, MarionOhioPolice.com, we added a place for the citizenry to make complaints about traffic, to let us know about traffic problems. And then we will use those complaints to direct the officers who are assigned to traffic, whether it be grant-funded or city-funded. And then we will continue to work with our speed monitor and on legislative solutions such as we discussed earlier about Bennett Street and Lee Street. So we hope that those combinations can help us better address the issues, but we are also fully cognizant of the fact that when I put a police car on Lee Street, they won't speed, but as soon as the car's gone, those speeds will continue. And I'm also cognizant of the fact of, we had people in telling us that these speeding issues at Duluth and Superior, and then the study produced a 27-mile-an-hour average. Doesn't mean there's not speeders there, but
But MarionOhioPolice.com is where citizens.
that's the police department website. We can do all kinds of things from there. Yep.
Okay. Anything else for the Traffic Commission?
I have a question.
Mr. Smith?
A while back, it was mentioned that they're reviewing electric bikes, e-bikes, and things like that. Yeah, was that, can you give us an update on that? Has anything?
Yeah, I'm trying to hit the midway point. It's very involved, and I would hope sometime in September, I will be able to share with council administrators and citizens some proposed changes to refine our e-bikes and things, legislation such as that.
Well, those little two-wheel scooters that they hold on to, they're electronic, will that be covered under there too?
Trying to cover it all, and that's why it's, yes, trying to cover it all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else from the commission, administration, audience? Seeing none, hearing none, we're adjourned at 6:46. I brought your things back up.
That's why I stayed away from the crumble cookies today, Sean. That's why I stayed away from the crumble cookies today.
I got two on the way in, on the way out.
Oh, no, that's why I was here, okay, sorry. Oh, you scared me there for a minute. No. Don't worry. Just didn't give her a copy.
Last two ordinances may have to be amended.
I didn't see you sitting there to hand you. Is your memory that bad? Sometimes.
Is this one that's already on there?
No, it's mine, it's not related.
Oh, wait, she didn't get the dress code policy for the finance committee out there.
There's also the estimate for the pool filter pump thing on the back of that stack I gave you.
These are the updated ones, correct? Call finance to order at 6:48 PM. Clerk, if you'll take the roll, please.
Ms. Lang?
Here.
Mr. Rollins?
Present.
Mr. Rattler?
Present.
Okay, we have finance meeting minutes from July 7th of 2025. If everybody has had an opportunity to read through those. I did read through, I did submit some typographical errors to the clerk, and those were corrected.
Yes, they've been corrected on the online version.
I'll make a motion to approve. Second.
Clerk, your approval?
Ms. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Mr. Rattler?
Yes.
Okay, old business, audits. Ms. McGinnis, where are we at on the 2021 audits?
2021 audit documentation was sent to the state 2 weeks ago. I believe I got an email last week while I was working on payroll from Dory, who is one of the audit team members. I've not gotten back to her yet because I was working on payroll, so that is on my to-do list for tomorrow. She had a couple questions about, I believe it was when she had questions about the adjustments that were submitted for Veritas. I think she had questions about whether or not there were reports submitted for it, or if it was, here's her email. As you received and reviewed these journal entries with the representatives of Veritas, could you please describe any additional steps or procedures you performed to verify your agreement with the entries before posting them? So I will send her a response tomorrow on that one. That was the last thing I received from the state. The audit for 22 is still in process. We've got some documents that we need to submit to Clark Schaefer Hackett to get that moving. That's also on my to-do list for tomorrow.
How many reports do you have that you need to submit to Clark Schaefer and Hackett?
I don't know that number off the top of my head. They've got a list of, I believe, like 64 reports total. And I know that we've submitted at least 20 of them. Other than that, I don't have an exact number.
So as of today, 21 reports have been submitted and 41 are past due. Can you see to it that those get submitted
Those are going to be
soon? Does anybody have any questions?
No, I don't, can you say your last statement again? I just make sure that I got it.
My last statement,
Yeah.
I checked the status today
Okay.
with Clark Schaefer and Hackett. They issue a report and it's updated as files are downloaded or whatever. And as of today, 21 reports had been submitted and 41 or 43 are past due. And some of them are by 89 days.
I don't know how the reports would have been past due by 89 days if we didn't start the process until June.
I'm just going by what it says.
Okay, I'll look into it.
Moving on to item number 2. Did that answer your question first?
Yeah, so, and that's all for 21?
That's for 22.
Okay. Would it make sense that they've asked for 64 reports so far?
They've got a list, so the way that they're submitting their request is through an online portal called Circuit. They basically load all their requests in there with certain due dates for the reports, and then they break down those due dates based on the compilation of the financial statements as well as the actual audit. So some of them had, I believe, like a June, that's not up there, that's July. I think it was like a June 13th or a June 15th deadline. We had gotten those submitted on time. I believe the next deadline was July 11th. We submitted some of them, but not all of them. And we've been working slowly to get the remainder submitted.
Okay.
Moving on to item number 2, penalties and appeals. Any updates or additions for the IRS penalties?
I did get some correspondence last week. I believe I sent back an email with the updated IRS spreadsheet on Tuesday. There was one for, I'm pulling it up, give me just a second. There was one for fourth quarter of 2021. They denied our appeal to remove that penalty. So I'll have to do some more digging to figure out what it is we need to do if there's anything we can do to continue to appeal that. And then the second notice was for quarter 1 of 2022. They sent our correspondence to another office because they said they believe that office can handle our case better.
I could ask a couple questions, and how much was that for? How much was that penalty for that they denied?
Give me just a second. Let me see if I can pull up that spreadsheet real quick. Fourth quarter of 2021, that was about 13,444.37.
So you're saying $13,444.37?
Yes.
Because I know this is something that I had said when we filed these appeals. I'm going to assume that this is not an appeal that we used, and I can't even think of the attorney firm's name that we used for these.
Voorhees.
Yes. We did not use Voorhees for this, correct?
Not for that one specifically, no.
So have we ever lost one that we used Voorhees with?
No, not right now.
And have we ever won one that we didn't?
I have to think. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Because I don't think so. We might have, but I think our win-loss rate is low. And, this is when I know we talked about it on this committee when we did this, and we didn't use an attorney, and I think we appropriated money to do that because, again, it's just we don't win unless we do, and I don't know. It's what they do that we don't, or what's different from what we do without them and what we do with them. But we win every time when we have them, and we lose every time or virtually every time when we don't.
I do know that when we had discussed it back at the beginning of last year, Jeff from Voorhees and I had a phone conversation, and we had mentioned combining, similar to the initial tax problem that we had submitted with them, that resulted in the 154 and change fee. We had considered submitting everything together, because I believe we had like 3 or 4 abatements at that time. We had a pretty decent sized one, and then 3 or 4 small ones. And the discussion with him basically was, we'll take on the big chunk, because the big chunk is, it was a pretty significant fine. And then the rest, it wouldn't make any financial sense to go after them, because his attorney fees would nearly outweigh the appeal. That was part of the discussion we had had last year, which is why he suggested we submit them on our own. But if we haven't had any luck with that, that may be something we have to revisit with him.
Okay, please do.
Can you tell us how much the one was for the first quarter of 2022?
First quarter of 2022, it looks like that one is $59,560.48. That is the one that is currently with Voorhees.
Any further questions? Not moving on to new business.
You might have one here.
Oh, sorry.
That's a quick update. These have been updated on the penalty spreadsheet.
Yes, I submitted.
The denial and everything is on there, and I do remember the conversation about Laura's not really wanting to tackle the smaller ones, that they wanted to focus on the bigger ones, but I do remember that conversation, but I think it is a good idea. They said if we had problems, that
we can consult them, absolutely.
Yeah.
I did submit, like I said, an updated spreadsheet to Matt last Tuesday.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if he sent it out, but there was one updated also.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to new business item number 3, Finance 48, Ordinance Land Bank, Tri-Rivers.
An ordinance authorizing the transfer of certain real property from the Marion Land Bank program to Tri-Rivers Career Center.
And this came from Call Director Russell.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. Safety Director Cow had indicated and shared with me a desire that Tri-Rivers Career Center would like to have one of the few remaining lots in the Marion City Land Bank, which was initiated in 2008. Essentially has been winding down since 2015. for educational purposes and project. During the City Land Bank's existence, I believe we've transferred property to Marion Habitat for Humanity many, many years ago. This is a permissible transfer, given the educational opportunities available, and it also takes the City Land Bank down to just 2 lots remaining, which we will continue to work to move on to the next owners.
Any questions?
Can I assume that when you say educational purposes, they're going to build?
Mr. Cowell knows the project. You want to share that with us?
It's my understanding that they're going to build a residential structure on that property. Yes. Park Boulevard.
That makes me feel better about the project. Just make a motion to send on to council with the recommendation to approve.
Second.
Clerk, take roll.
Ms. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Mr. Ratliff?
Yes.
Moving on to item number 4. Finance 49, vehicle disposal, but what is listed on the agenda, the description's not correct. So if you'll go ahead and read, please.
Ordinance authorizing and directing the Director of Public Safety to dispose of vehicles previously utilized by various departments and declaring them no longer necessary for any public purpose and declaring an emergency.
Okay, this is coming from Mayor?
So this is something we have done quite often in the past, where we have auctions, public auctions, to get rid of vehicles and equipment that are no longer of use or value to the city. We have on occasion in the past done this jointly with the county, which is what we decided to do again this year. They generally have a much bigger turnout as far as people that show up for the auction because they have a lot more stuff. So the auctioneer keeps track of everything that belongs to the city. We get a check at the end. The county gets a check for their portion at the end. All of these items that are on the ordinance tonight have been submitted by the department heads from those departments and are way beyond their useful life. So the auction will take place on September 27th at the Marmet hangar out at the Marion Municipal Airport at 10 a.m. And it's my understanding that they will be selling that Marmet hangar also that day. So hopefully we'll get that building back into use as something productive for the airport, and it'll be sold to somebody that will actually do something with it that is airport related. Any questions? That's it.
I'll make a motion to send to council with a recommendation to approve.
I'll second. Does the city need to do anything to be able to sell that hangar, or?
It is not. The hangar is actually belongs to the Marmet Drug Task Force. It was purchased with funds from the Drug Task Force. It's actually in the county's name.
Okay.
Because it has to be in an entity's name in order for them to have had it. So it's in the county's name, but it sits on city property. So.
Okay.
Clerk, if you'll take roll.
Ms. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Mr. Ratliff?
Yes.
Moving on to item number 5, Finance 50, bond refunds.
Ordinance requesting additional appropriations to the SCMR funds in the below listed line items for the year ending December 31st, 2025.
Okay, this is coming from Finance and Budget Director, Chelsea.
So this is
Money that we've collected from bonds for collateral for work that's done in the area in the city of Marion. But we collect the funds, and then once the work's been completed, an inspector goes out and approves the restorations. And then once that's been done and approved, then we have to refund the bonds back to the vendors. So this is kind of an in and out account, similar to how we do the fire monies for burnt down properties. So it's an item I'd like to probably have more regularly, so that the money that's coming in is exactly the same money that's going out. Nothing more, nothing less.
What would be your suggestion for regularly, once a month, quarterly?
Probably once a month. I think quarterly might not be fast enough to get vendors back their money in a timely manner. So I'd like to stay on top of it and do it at least once a month.
Any questions?
Yeah, do you think once we start collecting them that we should just put the money in there? Like kind of do it in one, because we collect the money, correct?
Correct.
Do you think we should, once we collect the money, put through something to transfer it over to the line item to pay it back out? Because I mean, more often than not, by a large margin, it gets paid back out.
Correct. I think they said they only had one time that something didn't get
Correct.
refunded.
So that's what I'm saying. I know you said once a week, or like, should we just do it as we collect them, is what I'm asking.
Correct, yeah. So like once a month, I would have a total that I would bring to you.
Okay.
And then it would be just the in and out. So everything we've collected for the month, it'll come to committees. You guys will see it, and then that's the same amount that we'll appropriate to be refunded back to the
Okay.
vendors.
How many do we collect a month? Just being nosy.
I don't know that you can have a true estimate, only because the work's not always consistent.
Okay.
And it really depends on how many vendors are doing jobs or work in the area.
Okay.
Another reason it can't truly be budgeted for, because it's not
Right.
consistent.
Any other questions?
Nope. Motion is on the council with recommendation to approve.
Second.
Clerk, take the roll.
Ms. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Mr. Ratliff?
Yes.
Moving on to item number 6, Finance 51, ESID pass-through funds.
Ordinance approving additional appropriations for current expenses to the ESID pass-through funds for the year ending December 31st, 2025.
Okay, this is coming from Mr. Watts, so out of the auditor's office.
Yes, so last year in April, we passed a couple ordinances relating to the Harding Village out on Fairground Street. There were some special assessments that we agreed to pay property taxes to the Northwest Ohio Advanced Energy Improvement. Basically what that is it's just an in and out. We collect the property taxes and then we send it on through. We collected a total of $101,897.65 in property taxes, and we have, I believe it was a total of $92,000 that we had to pay out. So we've already collected the funds. We just need to appropriate it in order to record that payment.
Mr. Rollins?
That is not the way this is worded.
Yeah.
So the way this is worded is, you've collected $101,897 in taxes, and you need an additional $92,815 to cover the cost of payments and fees.
The 101 was collected, yes.
Yes, but it sounds to me like we only collected 50% of the taxes.
Well, the first half was only I believe the first half was about 59. And then the second half has already come through. We've already collected the second half. We just need to submit that payment to the Northwest Ohio Advanced Energy Improvement. We need to record that payment.
But if we have a negative balance in New World, does that not say that the payment's already been made? Why do we have a negative balance?
I'd have to look at that line item. I didn't check it before I came down this morning.
think to get back to Councilman Rowland's point, what you're saying it says and what it says is not the same thing. And and it says that we need an additional funds to cover the cost of the 92,000, but we're only asking for 59,000.
And when I originally reviewed this, that was the same question I asked, and I asked them to explain it, and I got version number 2 of the ordinance.
Because, I mean, what I'm getting out of this, we collected almost 102, the cost is 93, and we've collected 59, and we need 59 to pay the 93 after we've collected 102. So I don't understand the math.
I'm pulling it up, give me just a second.
Okay.
So first half was paid earlier this year. Let me do the math on those numbers. There's about $47,000 was paid between April and May. And then it does look like the second payment went out earlier this month. It was just last week for the 36, for the same amount, for about 47.
Did you say 36 or 47?
No, 47. There's two checks, sorry. There's a $36,000 check and then a $9,000 check. So it's a total of about $47,000.
So we've paid out 94,000. Yes? Just quick back of the napkin math here.
Right.
All right. Then you're asking for another 58,000?
So at the beginning of the year, the total budgeted amount in that line item was $33,100.
Was what?
$33,100. So yes, to cover the remaining, and that's what I'm saying. The 101,897.65 in property taxes was collected. So that's what we actually received for this property, and we paid out the 91,433.44. But we need to account for that second payment, which is why we're requesting the 59,190. So we've collected it, it's in the bank account right now, we just need to appropriate it so that we can put everything back to where it needs to be in New World.
Sweet mother.
I didn't keep up with you on all of it, but that math doesn't work either. Because if we kicked in at the start a budgeted amount of 33,100, and you're saying we collected
101,897.
then that's a total of 100, almost 135.
Yep, you're doing the same napkin math I am. Yeah.
We're talking two different line items. So the special assessment line item that it comes into, that revenue line item is one budget, that's where we collected the 101. The expense line item to pay it back out was only budgeted at 33,1.
Okay.
So that expense line item now has gone down to 91,000 because we paid everything out. And we need to appropriate the additional 59 to cover the expenses for both of those payments. But the 101 came in.
Do you have those figures with you? You and I discussed this morning. Do you have the figures with you?
I do.
Can you maybe explain it for us, please?
So the ordinance should have been asking for an additional $59,190.40 to cover the negative balance that's in New World. I'm not sure what ordinance is in front of you, but that was ordinance, or that's the amount that should have been asked for, an additional appropriation. And then that covers the fund 5417 for the auditor's fees, and then 5451 for the pass-through account. And I can share this with you if you like.
Can you break down exactly what we were to pay Harding? Do you have that number?
The Harding Village payments, those are that is $36,495.82. We pay that twice a year for the first half of property taxes and the second half. And then there is another ESID property that we pay taxes on, being the Brickyard, and that totals to $18,513.80, totaling $92,815.40.
So the first half of that has already been paid?
It looks to me that all of it's been paid.
All of it's been paid?
Yes.
But the other portion of that doesn't go, does the other portion of that go to Northwest Ohio Advanced Energy Improvement for the Brickyard?
No, it goes
Well-
to Toledo Port Authority.
So would we need a separate ordinance for that as well?
The two ordinances that were related to this were 2024-54 and 2024-55. And those are both for the Harding Village.
I only got one. Do you only have one
One what?
ordinance?
Well, it's saying in the first whereas, we approved
Yes.
Harding Village Ordinance 2024-54 and 2024-55 to collect
Correct.
property tax.
Correct.
And then your box should have been an updated copy.
So Miranda, am I understanding this correctly? That maybe where it says, whereas the city of Marion has collected $101,897.65, that part of that is not part of
This is the second
2024-54 and 2024-55?
There were three of
And the
them that they
101
changed.
should be 18,000 and something less, because that's what we collected from the Brickyard that got added to the total collected?
I think I just asked that. Not sure.
This is what should have been in your box. Did you get that copy?
I don't know, I'm working out of the one in my packet.
This would have been on top of your packet. It was on top of my packet.
Was stapled.
And there were two other updated ordinances that went with it.
They say the same thing, don't they?
No.
No, they're different. Because I asked the same questions that you asked.
And Miranda, are you working, because I wasn't, are you working off the new one? Somebody's, I don't know if it was your office or,
Marvin
I
did.
got separately on Friday.
That's the one I got Friday.
That's the 59.
59. I only got 51.
Here, pass that back. So we should be.
Are you talking brand new 51 or?
Other door.
No, yeah, I have, that's the one I have.
So what I got out of this when I looked at it is that they've already paid the second half and they just need us to approve the check that they've already written.
But I still think that our ordinance needs to make mathematical sense when we pass it, because I still don't think it does. And that's why.
And are we including the money that we collected for the brickyard? Because if we are, then this,
Then it's wrong.
And I do believe the brickyard is included in this one.
You're saying it's wrong because it only mentions Harding Village, correct?
Right, because it's saying council approved ordinance, these two ordinances to collect property tax for the Northwest Ohio Advanced Energy Improvement.
Right.
And then you're saying, here's what we've collected, but if that's not what you collected out of those two ordinance for the Northwest Ohio Advanced Energy Improvement,
Right.
and you've collected money from something else to go somewhere else, then we shouldn't include that in the numbers.
Okay.
So the Harding Village is the 2454 ordinance, and Northwest Ohio Advanced Energy, is that the 2455?
no.
Both ordinances are for the Harding Village.
Right.
Okay. So we shouldn't even be including Northwest Ohio Advanced Energy Improvement.
Well, that's who's getting the payment.
Right, but we have
shouldn't-
another ordinance for another property that we're also collecting money on that goes to the Toledo Port Authority.
For brickyard, right. I get what you're saying.
Which-
I'll take it back and I'll get it rewritten.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, item number 7. Finance 52, Strongest Town Celebration.
Ordinance appropriating funds donated to the city of Marion to support the Strongest Town celebration for the year ending December 31st, 2025. The loose leaf ordinances I provided on the table before you got up here have item number, or Finance 52 and 53. The numbers have changed a little bit, and I provided those copies, and I'm assuming we'll have to amend them.
So we're looking at the one that the requested amount is 11,250?
Yes.
Okay.
There was another donation received.
Yeah, we received another donation from Poet and wanted to add it to this.
Is it in the 11,250?
Yes, and the
Okay.
name should be added to the ordinance.
Yeah, they're listed on here.
How is the total budget for the entire party going to be? Are we good?
Meaning, like, do we have enough to cover our expenses? Yes, we've been watching what we're spending and how much everything's been costing.
Okay. And we've done everything we planned and wanted to do?
I'll speak to that. So I've been part of the planning committee, so super proud of the individuals that got together on that committee. They went out, as you can see, raised $11,250 from local businesses to go toward this. We really didn't compromise on anything, so full day of entertainment, full barbecue as we set out, free ice cream, free day of swimming, so bounce houses. So everything that we set out to do initially, I think we were able to cover, which is tremendous. So want to thank Mike for all his hard work putting the committee together, everyone that helped out with the finance, Janelle, everyone involved. Definitely want to thank all the sponsors that are here. We'll obviously thank them during the event, but, yeah.
Then there may be more donations
It was a
coming in.
huge undertaking, and really, a team of about 8 people pulled it off, which is pretty tremendous.
Thank you for doing
Yep.
that also. So as of right now, we've got $11,250 that we are requesting to be added to the fund.
Correct.
So I'll make a motion to send that on to council with,
So we need a motion to amend? Because that was not the original one that was presented.
okay, then we'll make a motion to amend it. To the requested amount of $11,250.
I don't know that it's necessary, but I will second that.
Clerk, take roll.
Ms. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Mr. Ratliff?
Yes.
Motion to send on to council with approval.
Yes. Second.
Clerk, take roll.
Ms. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Mr. Ratliff?
Yes. Now, is there any issue because it's this Saturday, and it won't go on council's agenda until Monday? Is there any issue with that?
We had 20,000 to get us started.
Okay.
That was our startup money. All the other payments will be made after Monday,
Okay.
so the remaining by Thursday.
Okay.
Moving on to finance. Item number 8, finance 53.
Ordinance making additional appropriations to the Aquatic Center for the year ending December 31st, 2025.
Okay, so we were given a corrected version on this also.
Yes, I received an email this morning from the mayor. There's a copy of an equipment list. The filter or the pump at the pool is leaking, and wastewater treatment guys will repair it if we get the materials for them. So that was added into this.
Added into
Supplies.
supplies. Okay. So I did have Chelsea and I did some quick numbers crunching today, and I think Mayor Collins and Chelsea did. You'd like to go ahead?
Yeah,
and
just to
make-
address a little bit in the overage and why we're asking, back here asking for additional funds anyway is, obviously, everybody, I think, has noticed their electricity rates have gone up as they have at the pool. So electric was significantly higher. It's been a very hot summer. When it's a hot summer, the chemicals run higher because we're putting more chemicals in the pool. So that's really something you can't gauge specifically. It has been a great year. We're doing very good at getting to where we want to be, which is a neutral cost factor. So we're getting close to that. And then Kenny shows up in my office this morning and says the main pump is leaking and a new pump's like $20,000, but we can rebuild this one for $5,000. And the people at wastewater, from our department, wastewater, will go down and fix that pump and put those new parts in. So there's a significant lead time for these parts. So we want to try to get this passed tonight. I think we're increasing what we originally asked for by $5,000 to cover the parts for that pump so we can get them ordered. And then when we shut down in the fall, have time to fix it before the start of the next spring.
Do we have to reimburse salaries? I'm assuming so.
Pardon me?
Do we have to reimburse salaries for the enterprise fund spending time at the aquatic center?
Good question. I don't know. I mean, we have probably. Yeah, I
Yes.
mean, we will have to figure out what the dollar, I know we've ran into that before when they help, when an enterprise fund helps out a general fund department, we keep track of the hours and
Right.
then adjust the payroll funds accordingly. So
Okay.
that answer is,
And would that change anything in here that we need to do tonight? Do we need to add anything in there?
This has nothing to do with salaries.
No, salary
Okay.
should be fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
I do. I'll wait till matters not on the agenda, because it's not really.
I did also talk with Chelsea to see where we were at with the pool this year, and once the pool closes for the season, then we'll have a better idea of what the salaries and the benefits and everything are going to be, and if we need to de-appropriate funds, move them around within the pool area. And the pool is closing Labor Day?
Yeah, so it's on a reduced schedule now because of back to school, so they're not open during the week, but we're shooting for Labor Day weekend to be able to stay open until then. That always could change due to weather or whatever, but this is the first year that they have not had a real issue with lifeguards. We've kept a really good crew of lifeguards that continue to show up for work, and they're all excited about working next Saturday for the big party at Lincoln Park, and I think we'll do fine and be able to stay open through Labor Day weekend.
Okay. Is there any other questions?
Yeah, I'll ask it now, just to get it out of the way. On the electrical rates, there was a rate hike that was requested from, I believe, Ohio Edison, AEP.
AEP,
Yeah.
just within the last week?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
AEP, so I saw that too.
I also just saw that they had record quarterly profits,
Yeah.
which is
I
awesome.
saw that too.
Yeah. So,
I guess if there's anything to be thankful for, it's many of us here don't receive our electricity from AEP. So, but we aren't suffering tremendously less than the customers in AEP may in the future because of what we see when we go home and watch the nightly news and when we receive our electric bills at our residences. So our electric bills are increasing. The city administrators and my office continue to purchase supply for city uses, trying to get the best rate possible. Of course, we're aware of the aggregation, electric aggregation, but our electric rates are going through the roof, and the only way I think we'll have any way to push back is when, in our case, Ohio Edison comes forward and says it's time for us to have another rate increase, is to be there saying, no, when's enough? But I guess, all that being said,
we've not heard anything from First Energy or
No.
Ohio Edison.
no, nothing new like we heard last week from AEP.
Yeah.
Just for the record, so a lot of the expense that we're getting passed on to the residential customers are to fund these big data centers in
Yeah.
the bigger cities that aren't in Marion. So that was part of that same article that I read,
Yeah.
as far as that one.
Daniel, 608 Gator Street. I understand what you're going at with Ohio Edison. I have NGR, so when you piped up the AEP aggregate, it didn't matter to me one way or another. But I don't know if anybody remembers 2012 when we had that derecho, that line of thunderstorms that came through Marion and did all that damage. Maybe you do, or maybe you don't. But my power went out 36 hours. Okay, and I was one of the lucky ones because Ohio Edison sat there and came through and got our power back day and a half. I had to throw everything out, of course, and the refrigerator and whatnot. But at least they came. AEP, by contrast, left those poor people out there in Columbus for 10 days. We're talking about 100-degree weather every day. That went on for 3 months up until the weather finally broke in September. We didn't have not one drop of rain other than 2 days where we got a deluge of 2 hours and then a 2-minute rain like 2 months later. And what did AEP do? They left them hang. People in trailer parks all across there, they let them hang for 10 days. Anybody that's on the AEP system, they hung for 10 days. I wouldn't, it's like, if I had my choice between going back to Ohio Edison and sticking, and ended up with AEP, I'd be with Ohio Edison, even if they were hired. It's like, I don't know what it is about you, but it's like, I do see AEP sitting there setting up the new power grid. Of course, I imagine with those record profits they've been having, they can do that. But I wouldn't knock Ohio Edison too much, because we had that, we had it when the power went out recently. It's like, it was half power, it was a negative, but they still got it done in 6 hours. God only knows what AEP would have done to us if we had them.
Thank you. Back to the ordinance then for the aquatic center. Make a motion to amend. Do we need to amend it since it's different than what was in the packet originally? We did the other one.
I will entertain that motion.
Okay. I'll second that.
And just so we're clear on the record, what is the total we're amending it to?
Looks like $7,700 for supplies, $6,200 for utilities, and $2,000 for debt service costs, because I think the other were X'd out, correct?
I think those were the original ones that were X'd out. There was a change in your stapled packet, and then this is different than the stapled packet.
Yeah, because we have 3 different ordinances
Yeah.
in front of us.
So,
It's been one of them.
so for the record, capital equipment is $3,044.04.
$3,544.
$544.04. Credit card fees, $1,980 and 1 penny. Service contracts, $350. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, $350. Supplies, $7,700. Utilities, $6,200, and debt service costs, $2,000.
Totaling $21,774.05.
05, that's correct. Clerk, take roll.
Ms. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Mr. Ratliff?
Yes.
And motion to send to council to approve.
I'll second.
Ms. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Mr. Ratliff?
Yes.
Okay, moving on to matters not on the agenda, ordinance.
Madam Chairperson, if I may. So before the meeting started, I handed to each Finance Committee member a ordinance to consider at matters not on the agenda. And I have extra copies for anybody that wants them. So many in attendance will recall that the council authorized and appropriated monies to retain a law firm to assist us in the City of Marion versus Capgrove and Lighthouse, the 2 defendants. And on July 30th, I was able to share the results of the summary judgment motions that were filed in the case that the city brought against Capgrove and Lighthouse. And some of you may have read the 55-page opinion written by Judge Anderson, finding in favor of the City of Marion in our request for injunctive relief, which is an order from the court ordering Capgrove and Lighthouse to stop utilizing these properties in violation of the Marion City Zoning Code. So that was a success. What I need to do this evening is ask Finance to appropriate an additional $10,000 of monies. And these are monies that I had anticipated would be necessary, because early on, retaining a firm with the level of expertise in fair housing and just ADA type litigation was necessary given their level of expertise. In my opinion, I can't remember whether it was captured in the minutes or not, but I anticipated a firm such as the firm that's working on our behalf, the totality of the cost to be between the range of 25 and 30. We've previously appropriated 15. I'm asking for an additional 10 this evening. That'll take us to the 25, which is within the range that I would have expected early on. Understand that the defendants in the case have until August 26th if they intend to file a notice of appeal. So the matter may not be completely over, because as with any civil litigation, the person that finds themselves on the short end of the sticks has to evaluate whether or not to appeal the local trial court decision, the 3rd District Court of Appeals in Lima, Ohio. At this point, I haven't received any indications from the defendant's lawyer of what they intend to do. I have talked with the partner that worked with myself in the administration closely on achieving this success at the local trial level, and he's not heard anything either. We will both reach out to the defendants next week, once the appeal deadline passes, to talk about the next steps and hopefully hear their plan to wind down their operations at these homes that violate our zoning code. Be happy to answer any questions.
I have a question.
Good.
Yeah, so just real quick question, based on the judge's ruling, how long do they have to vacate these properties?
So, having read it, he didn't have a date, an act by date. I think that's something that we will turn to now. Hopefully, we get to next Tuesday, and Tuesday comes and goes, and we don't have a notice of an appeal. Then we can turn squarely to, when can we expect you to vacate the 3 remaining homes you're operating within? And then share that information at a future council or committee meeting.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Wishes of committee?
Make a motion to send this to council with a recommendation to approve.
Are you going to second that? Clerk, take roll.
Ms. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Mr. Ratliff?
Abstain.
Okay, moving on to other matters continuing with matters not on the agenda. I have a couple of questions for the auditor's office. We were supposed to be bi-weekly, was supposed to be completed by 8:15, and bi-monthly was 8:18, that's today. What is the status of ADP? Are we full on ADP now, or are we still operating?
So right now, what we're doing is we're going through additional testing. The wage rate programs that we've been working on are complete at this point. What we have to do is we have to upload balances, like end of, or current year balances for payroll. Those will be uploaded today. Once those are completed, we have additional testing tomorrow at 1 to go through the whole payroll process, verify deductions and everything are complete, confirm that the wage rate programs are working as appropriate. The goal right now is that we go live for next week's pay on 8/29, and that will be the pay for everyone. So bi-weekly, semi-monthly, and monthly will all be paid ideally through ADP next Friday.
Okay. Any questions?
So all employees are still clocking in both methods at this point?
At this method, yes.
And then how is the staffing coming along in your office?
I have the new administrative assistant / payroll clerk did start last Wednesday. He had a previously scheduled vacation this week, so he's out this week, but he will be back next week. And then we have been interviewing for the internal auditor position. So we're waiting for that to finish up.
Okay. So you stated new administrative assistant that started last week, and we changed that position to a clerk 2 position. Did we not?
Yes, the title is administrative assistant / payroll clerk.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify that.
I think its pay grade was under the clerk 2's.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And you said interviewing next week for internal auditor?
They're currently interviewing.
Pardon?
We're currently interviewing. We had a
Currently.
second interview last week with one of the candidates, and we have one more that we're considering.
Is there any other questions or concerns on matters not on the agenda? Questions about any report?
I apologize, I did try and print out the spreadsheet for you, and a couple of the pages came in front and back. So it's a little hard to follow on some of those years, but I tried. I at least got it bigger.
No further questions? Finance, yeah.
I don't know if this is the right time to speak or.
Is it? Okay.
Casillero, 754 East Church Street. I talked to one of the construction people that's working on the sidewalks and the water line and all that air down there today, and they said they had no idea what I was talking about with the trees coming down in my yard. And the mayor said that he had talked to somebody, and they said, yes, they was coming down. But they are laying the sidewalk, and I asked how long it was going to be before they come down the street with the sidewalk, and he said they should get it done before the end of the week. They was in front of my house today, scooping all the rock and stuff up, which cut also more tree roots and stuff in front of my house. So
Yeah, I'll tell her what I told her at the beginning of the meeting. We have had conversation with Aqua, and they intend to cut the trees down. I don't have an exact date when that's going to happen, but they're assuming the arborist report, and they're going to cut the trees down.
So I just wanted that reported.
I'll try to get a
Okay.
approximate date of maybe when they're going to do that for you.
Yeah, I would love to know that, so at least go to bed and sleep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments or concerns?
Are they coordinating the entire project, or are we? As far as the replacement of everything there and the sidewalks and all that? Because it seems to me that, I'm no engineer, but it does seem to me that it would make more sense and have a better outcome if the trees were down before the sidewalk was put in.
I don't have any indication that they're very close to getting the sidewalks in.
Okay.
They're still a ways out with that entire project. So.
Okay. But are they the one coordinating all this, or is that coming through the city?
No, they'll coordinate.
Okay.
But they're in charge of all the construction people there, and they'll coordinate. We'll ask them an approximate if they think they know when they're going to get them down. But,
all right.
I know I talked just the other night with Scott Ballinger because we had a big water main breakdown on Main Street, and they were addressing that, and he was trying to catch a break somewhere, so they've been pretty busy, and we'll see where they're at with that.
Okay.
Any other? Stand adjourned, 7:48.
Here's this, man. Save on the budget. Just save us 12 cents.
24. I resell for mine, I bring them in by the shoebox.